Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namne Gauratrishe Namaha. He Krishna Karuna Sindha Dinabandha Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priya Bhaktya Vihina Parada Lakshay Kshiptascha Kamarita Rangamadhyam Kripamayi Tvam Sharanam Prapanna Vrinde Namaste Charanarabindam Bhajami Radham Aravinda Netram Smarami Radha Madhura Sutasya Vadami Radham Karuna Varadram Tato Mamanyasti Gati Natadi Tavai Vasmi Najivami Tvaya Vina Iti Vigyaya Radhe Tvam Nayamam Charanantike Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. First of all, I offer my Sastangananda Pranam, thousands of times the Lord Sweet Shri Paramaradatam Guru Para Padma Om Vishnu Bhara Stotra Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Gosai Maharaj Gurudev. Secondly, I offer my Sastangananda Pranam, thousands of times the Lord Sweet Shri Rupanula Gauri Guru Bhagavad. I offer my Sastangananda Pranam Santa Osam Vaishnava Vaishnav. Continuing with our Sri Gaur Purnima celebrations and reading of the Gurudev's Katha on the specialities of Sri Sachinanda Giridhari. Today Gurudev was describing the three unique purposes for Mahaprabhu's advent. Born primarily out of compassion and the desire to fulfill the innermost desires, three desires. Based on this, then Mahaprabhu he descended. Now Gurudev is going to describe the 8 unprecedented distinctions of Sri Giridhari's compassion. So 8 distinct features of Mahaprabhu's mercy, his compassion. How Mahaprabhu is merciful. 1. No other incarnation bestowed bhakti upon all. As previously stated, the reason Sri Bhagavan accepts unlimited incarnations is to protect devotees, annihilate demons, and establish true religion. According to scriptures such as Srimad Bhagavatam, even the unfathomably deep and shoreless oceans, are unable to properly bathe even one bodily hair of any of those influential incarnations, like Matsya, Kurma, and Varaha. Yet there is no possibility of these incarnations bestowing bhakti. Every incarnation is so unique in its own right, but still, compared to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, they're not comparable. Why? Because Mahaprabhu bestows bhakti. These incarnations cannot bestow bhakti. That's why we can see all 4 sampradayas are established by the bhaktas or the devotees of the Lord. Sri Sampradaya established by Lakshmi. Madhva Sampradaya established by Brahma. The Chatushan Sampradaya established by Nimbanitya, and the Vishnu Swami Sampradaya established this Rudra Sampradaya established by Rudra himself, Shiva. And then each of those four eternal associates of the Lord, they have their own acharyas. Madhva, Ramanuja, Acharya, Nimbaditya, Vishnu Swami. So, Bhaktya Sanjayate Bhaktya. Therefore, Bhakti is born from what? Bhakti, devotion. When Bhagavan Lakshmana does not have Bhakti for themselves, then how can they give Bhakti to anyone else? So Bhagavan gives Bhakti through his devotees. But Mahaprabhu is not like that. Mahaprabhu himself gives Bhakti. Gurudev is saying this is special, unique contribution of his, or distinction of Mahaprabhu's compassion. And avatars such as Nrsimha, Vaman and Parashuram remain exclusively confined to the specific purposes of their respective advents. Avatars such as Kapil and Dattatreya only instructed Sankhya Yoga, the yoga of analytical study of material elements. And a description of bestowing bhakti is not to be found in avatars like Buddha. Of all the avatars, only Sri Ramachandra and Sri Krishna Chandra attracted all living entities. Still, in regard to bestowing bhakti, they did not exhibit particular magnanimity, even to their own close associates. So even when you read about the different incarnations, you don't hear about their associates and their pastimes. At Kurma, what associates of Kurma have you read about in his pastimes? Okay, he came into the milk ocean and they upheld the Mandara mountain. Matsya, he pulled the boat in the time of the dissolution and saved Satyavat Rishi. You hear some pastimes like this, but about their parikaras and their associates, their naam, roop, mudil, all these things, not much description is there. But Krishna and Ram, so much description. So many jivas were attracted by their pastimes and ultimately liberated. But more than that even, Mahaprabhu. Even Ram and Krishna, they attracted so many entities, but Gurudev is saying they did not bestow bhakti. But Mahaprabhu, not only did he attract all the living entities, but he also gave them bhakti. Sri Ramachandra proposed the benedictions of sense enjoyment, bhoga, and liberation, moksha, to associates such as Lomasha Rishi, Sharavanga, Sutikshna, the rishis of Dandakaranya, even Kaka Bhushundi. The different rishis. In the footnote, it's saying that these exalted associates of Ram were not interested in personal enjoyment, and therefore they did not accept bhoga or moksha from him. Sri Bhagavan reveals the exalted disposition of his true devotees through such pastimes. Actually, there's one rishi, I'm not sure which one it is, in Sutikshna, one of these rishis actually is described, or maybe it's a different one, they're not mentioned in the list, but one of the rishis when Ram was going to Bharadwaj Rishi's ashram on the way, then there was one rishi who was over 100 years old and he had been waiting a long time for Ram. When Ram finally came, then he welcomed him and served Ram, Lakshman, Sita. Then Ram said, "Oh, I'm very pleased with you. So I want to give you a benediction." He said, "Please give me the benediction of being me able to merge into you. I want to leave my body and I want my soul to enter into your body." Then Ram said, "Tathastu." Then, right there in front of Ram, he left his body and he attained Ishvara Sayujya. Bhakti Tattva Gurudev describes this Sayujya Mukti is of two kinds. One is Brahma Sayujya, one is Ishvara Sayujya. Now, out of these two kinds, Ishvara Sayujya is more unfortunate. Why? Because you are having direct association, darshan of Bhagavan's form. Yet you desire to merge into that form, be annihilated, rather than serving him. Whereas the Brahmavaris, they have realization of the impersonal Brahman and they merge into that Brahman. But in Ishvara Sayujya, like Agasur, like Shishupal, the Atma directly enters into the Lord's form. Therefore, this is more unfortunate. So Ram, he distributed this bhog moksha. In this way, he kept bhakti, rag bhakti concealed. Even when he came in front of the Dandakaranya rishis, that time the rishis were chanting Gopal mantra, praying. They saw Ram and his beauty, they became attracted. In the heart of this guy, this mood of Madhurya came. We want to serve the Lord in this mood of Madhurya Bhav. Then Ram in his heart, he said, no, in this incarnation it will not be possible, for I am only worshipped in Dasya. In my next incarnation, as Krishna, I will fulfill all of your desires. Then, these same Dandakaranya rishis, they took birth from the wombs of gopis and entered into the Dasya. Sri Ramachandra is Maryada Purushottam, the incarnation of the Lord who establishes the rules for proper religious etiquette and conduct. It can therefore be understood that for him to conceal bhakti, rag bhakti is actually appropriate, for by his withholding the bestowal of that bhakti, the etiquette of religious principles, Maryada, was not transgressed. In other words, he established or defined what is proper etiquette. Why in rag marg sometimes the devotee is so spontaneous, he may even leave aside some rules of devotion if he finds them unfavorable for his own internal mood. It is described in 11th Canto Srimad Bhagavatam that someone who is on the path of Bhagavad Dharma, he can run with his eyes closed and have no fear of falling from the path. So when Gurudev was in Badger in 2007, that time on the morning walk, they asked Gurudev this question. What is the meaning of this? Or Gurudev asked the devotee Badger, what is the meaning of this? And then someone, I think it was our Sajjan Maharaj, someone, he said, oh, this material spiritual life is like a razor's edge. Therefore we have to tread very carefully. But on the path of Bhagavad Dharma, it is not necessary. And Guru said, who said spiritual life is like a razor's edge? So material life is like a razor's edge. This material world is so dangerous. Take one false step and then you can be cut. It's not like the path of bhakti is like a razor's edge, but this world is like that. And if you're not careful, then you may, to deviate from the path of bhakti, then this world, or the suffering of this world will cut you. But he said, this is not the meaning. He said, Gurudev said the meaning is that someone who enters onto the path of Raganuga Bhakti, then with his eyes closed, he can progress towards the Supreme Lord. He can serve the Lord with all his moods. There's no fear of him transgressing the scriptures. Even if by some accident or by some neglect, he does not follow some rules, then there is no fault found in him. Because he is following the Rag, the wake of Rag, all the mood that is there in his heart, the love that is in his heart. So this, but for those who are not for those who do not have this Rag in their heart, then they are what? Bhairi Bhakti Adhikarivan. They are eligible for Bhairi Bhakti. It is said in the Rupa Goswami in his Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, when he defines Bhairi Bhakti, or who is eligible for Bhairi Bhakti, he says the Swarup Lakshana, or the main, what do you call it, eligibility or criteria for Bhairi Bhakti is what? The absence of Rag. There is an absence of Rag in your heart, this means you are qualified for Bhairi Bhakti. And then, in that state, your mind, your intelligence, your heart, you depend on what? The words of Guru, Sadhu, Sastra, as your guide. Whatever the scriptures are saying, whatever the sadhus are saying, whatever the Guru is saying, that you follow. Very strictly, not speculating on their words. But when one comes to the path of Raganuga Bhakti, then what becomes the guide? That Rag itself becomes the guide. So, but it's not that those in the path of Raganuga Bhakti, they will neglect scriptural, the Guru, Sadhu, Sastra. They'll also follow, even more strictly than the Vaidhi Bhakti, but they'll conceal, they'll hide their mood. It's like they'll do, Gurudev says, when there is a newly, if you have a bride, but she has another lover, then she externally performs all her duties very carefully, not to arouse any suspicion. But really her heart and mind is bad at somewhere else. So the Raganuga Bhakti externally follows all rules and regulations very strictly. It is only to conceal that Rag that is there in his heart, so that no one will understand. And then he really worships the Lord in his. So Ramachandra, he established Maryada, and he hid this Rag Bhakti. This way Maryada was never transgressed in his Leela. Yet for Sri Krishna, who is Leela Purushottam, that incarnation of the Lord who relishes superlative ever-fresh pastimes, and who apparently transgressed Maryada to some extent, it was certainly appropriate to be magnanimous by granting that same bhakti. But he also to a large degree concealed such bhakti to him. Krishna to some degree, gave some devotion, gave some position, like we heard yesterday. To Utana he gave this Datri Gati, position of a nurse, and to the different demons. He also engaged them in service. So Krishna also he reciprocated with all his devotees, and he served them. But in large degree, Krishna did not openly, freely distribute bhakti to himself. Even in Chaitanya Charitamrita he said, I give them Vishai, Bhog, Moksha, all these things. I don't give them the nectar of my lotus feet so easily. Rajan Patir Gurur Alam Bhavatam Yadunam Daivam Priyakula Pati Kinkarava Astevam Anga Bhagavam Bhajatam Mukundo Muktim Dadati Kadachit Smana Bhakti Yogam. This canto Srimad Bhagavatam says that, O king, it is true that Bhagavan Mukunda has become the maintainer, Guru, worshipful deity, beloved, master, and sometimes even the servant of you and the Yadavas. Still, although that Bhagavan Sri Krishna easily grants liberation to those who worship him, he does not easily give them bhakti to himself. Krishna may give mukti, therefore he is Mukunda, mukti dadati Mukunda, but bhakti, muktim dadati kadhijit smana bhakti yogam. Sometimes mukti, but bhakti yoga, not so easily. Krishna yari chute bhakti bhukti mukti diya, kabu prem bhakti na den rakayan lukaiya. They are saying that Shri Krishna immediately delivers liberation, mukti, or worldly sense pleasure, bhukti, according to the devotee's desires. But he does not easily give pure unalloyed devotion, prema bhakti. Indeed, he keeps that hidden. So this is the nature of different incarnations and Ram and Krishna. But Mahaprabhu is openly giving the fruits of prema. So this was the first distinction of Mahaprabhu's compassion. And secondly, saying that Sri Giridhari gives prem, pure love of God, without considering qualification. In this way, in all his forms, the Lord who can make the impossible possible keeps bhakti hidden, even from those who worship him. However, in his form of Sri Gauranga, in order to inundate all jivas with bhakti ras via his instructions, touch, glance, and inspiration, he accepted sannyas, the renounced order, and traveled broadly, and he sent his associates throughout the land as his emissaries, manifesting deities and devotional scriptures through them. Thus he freely and generously with both hands distributed pure love for his holy name. His Mahaprabhu, not only himself but through his associates, he is freely distributing this prem. Empowering all his parikars. Rupa Goswami states, Santvavatara Bhava Pankajanabasya Sarvado Bhadra Krishnan Anya Kovalatas Api Premado Bhavati. Let that form of Bhagavan, who has a lotus stemming from his navel, expand unlimited incarnations, replete with all auspiciousness. But apart from Sri Krishna, who else can bestow prem upon surrendered souls? This is indeed true. But according to the Gita verse, Ye yata mam prapajyante, in whichever way a person surrenders to me, I reciprocate with him accordingly. Krishna says, Ye yatam mam prapajyante, tam sataiva bhajamyaham. As you surrender unto me, I bhajamyaham, I worship you in return. So Krishna also serves and worships his devotees. Sri Krishna bestows bhakti in proportion to one's faith and qualification, neither less nor more, but the exact proportion only. So accordingly, Krishna will reciprocate. It is a fact that Sri Krishna's name is supremely magnanimous and merciful. In the past, present, and future, when chanted to indicate something else, sanket, jokingly, parihas, antagonistically, stoba, or even disrespectfully, hela, his name has delivered. His name has delivered and is delivering and will continue to deliver even those who chant the semblance of the name Namabhas. Nevertheless, Krishna naam kore aparadher vichar. Krishna boril aparadhir na hoy vikar. In the chanting of Krishna naam, the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, offenses are seriously considered. For this reason only, an offender does not experience any spiritual transformation while chanting. But in contrast, we find this verse in relation to the sacred name of Gaura. Chaitanya Nityanande nahi esaba vichar. Naam loite prem den bahe astrudhar. In regard to chanting the names of Sri Chaitanya and Nityananda Prabhu, such considerations do not exist. Rather, these names bestow prem upon the chanter, and tears of pure love cascade from his eyes. Not only this, Eman Dayalu Prabhu Nahi Tribhuvane, Krishna Prem Janmai Ja Dur Darshan. In the three worlds, there is no master as merciful as he, by whose mere audience Krishna Prem awakens. So, Giridhari is so merciful that he freely distributes his prem. Not only that, but his name is also so, just like he is, his holy name is as merciful. There is no consideration of offense while chanting Mahaprabhu's name. With Krishna Naam, there is all consideration. If you are chanting Naam Aparad, then how will the fruit of prem manifest? But by chanting God Naam Nityananda's name sincerely, they cannot be offensive. They will not accept offense. Automatically you will chant, it will be Naam Aparad. Then Shuddha Naam will manifest. If you go to Navadip Dham, Vrindavan Dham, if you commit any offenses, then the reactions are 1,000 times multiplied. But in Navadip Dham, there the offenses of the sadhaka cannot be taken into consideration. This means that if you unknowingly commit any offense, then you are forgiven automatically. But if someone unknowingly goes to Navadip Dham and does aparad, then of course all offense will take place. This means that mistakenly, anyone who commits. But in Vrindavan, even accidentally do offense, then you get the reaction. So similarly, Mahaprabhu's name is like that. Like Navadip Dham is supremely merciful. No consideration of aparad. And Navadip Dham Mahatma Bhaktivinoda Thakur says, anyone who chants the name of God is Nanda. Prema Bhakti itself will come searching for that person and enter into the heart. It's so merciful. 3. Sri Giridhari surrendered to his mercy potency. In this way, in the matter of bestowing prem, Sriman Mahaprabhu's karuna, his compassion and mercy, did not consider who was deserving and who was not. Considering all to be deserving, she immediately granted prem to whomever she came across. She personally made those who were undeserving eligible and filled them with the nectar of prem. The potency of the Lord has also, the different potencies have different swarups. The embodiment of Swarup Shakti, Hladini Shakti, who is Radharani herself. But then there's the embodiment of her devotion, that is Bhakti Devi, that is Vishnu Priya Devi. And then so many different incarnations. Shraddha, there is Shraddha Devi also. Ekadashi Devi. And he's saying here also, his mercy, his karuna, she also comes. Devi also comes and personally gives that prem to everyone who is even not eligible. She will even give them. Those who have been undeserving, who have no qualifications, she makes them eligible and gives them that prem. In other words, in this Kali Yuga, everyone is eligible in the sense that the more fallen you are, the more of your recipient you will be of Mahaprabhu's mercy. Mahaprabhu's Padit Pavan. He is looking to deliver the most fallen. The more fallen you are, and the more Padit you are, Ye tava Padita hoy, tata hoy, tata doy. So we say that the more fallen you are, the more you become eligible for their doya, for their mercy. So this condition of being Padit, this is our eligibility, this is our qualification. Therefore, the Vaishnavas, they always consider themselves very fallen. They always deenheen. Always Srinada Vishunichana. And this is their ornament, this is their qualification. Those who think I am something, I am qualified. But yet they really are not qualified and they have this double standard. Then they have this duplicity in their heart. Then bhakti will not manifest in such a heart. Take some time. Someone who is genuinely humble, and considering oneself low and fallen, then bhakti will quickly manifest in the heart of that devotee. Unnada ujjvala swabhakti. The Lord's own brilliantly radiant service mood in the highest mellow amorous love is extremely difficult to obtain even for the Lord's dearmost associates like Sri Nara. So what to speak of sadhak bhaktas? However, when Sri Gauda's Karuna extended herself without any obstruction, fully retaining her independence, that supremely rare nectar Unnata Ujjvala Prem inundated the whole world like a powerful flood. So this highest love is even difficult for Narad to achieve. But now, when Mahaprabhu makes his advent, then Abhadda Karuna Sindha Kutiya Mohan, Gare Gare Bule Prema Amiyaravan. Nityananda broke that dam that was holding that mercy and distributed to every single house. Like a powerful flood, independently now, is Karuna Shakti of the Lord. It's going everywhere and distributing the prem to everyone. Sriman Mahaprabhu gave full freedom to his unprecedented mercy, Karuna potency, telling her, Karuna, I surrender unto you. In whichever direction you choose, however far you want to go, and to whatever place you want to travel, drown everyone, the offenders, the antagnostics, the neutral, the faithful and faithless, the ordinary devotees and the special devotees, in the flood of prem. So, Jai Bhaje Se Baro Abhakti Hinachar Krishna Bhajane Na Jati Kulari Vichar. There is no Jati Kula Vichar in Krishna Bhakti. Anyone who is this, Nityananda Prabhu says, Ek bar chakshada Gaur bole nitai den sakala sambha. Just chant the holy name of Gaur once, then with tears in your eyes, and I will come there myself running to support that person. In other words, Nityananda Prabhu says, I personally take responsibility. I make a vow, I sankalpa. Anyone who chants the name of Gaur even once, then I will not rest till I deliver that person from this ocean of material existence. Such is the mercy of Nitai Chandra. In this flood of prem, first the hills of Kulia, the blasphemous students of Navadip, then the valley of Nilachal, Advaitavari such as Sarvamama Bhattacharya, and last the highest peaks of the mountains of Kashi, the offender Advaitavari Prakashananda Saraswati, and his 60,000 disciples were drowned beneath the bottom of abyss, Atala. Sri Gaura's tender compassion was such unparalleled sweetness. Sri Gaura's tender compassion has such unparalleled sweetness, such astonishing gaiety, such incomparable magnanimity, and such unprecedented distinction that it is not seen even in the Leela Purushottam Krishna, Sri Krishna, who can bestow prem. Therefore Mahaprabhu's Karuna Shakti, she has been given complete freedom to distribute this prem to all. And Mahaprabhu says, wherever you take me, I will go there. Why? Ultimately, this Karuna Shakti knows the desire of Mahaprabhu. Knowing Mahaprabhu's desire to be supremely magnanimous, Mahavaranya, then she is going everywhere and distributing. It's not possible that Shakti will be independent from Shaktiman. But Shakti is always subordinate to Shaktiman. So this is the desire of Mahaprabhu. This is the desire. It's the speciality of the incarnation. He is born out of compassion. He descends out of compassion. And therefore he wants to distribute that which has not been distributed for a very long time. Anarpita Charim Siddharth Prem. Therefore he is freely distributing. Therefore, even the demigods, they said that Tulsidas said that even the demigods that they desire to descend into this world and take birth as a human. Because they want to receive the mercy that is easily available during this Giridhari. So, this Dhanya Kali is really very auspicious. For only the original Lord can exhibit all other forms of Godhead. Each of Bhagavan's other incarnations that he exhibits in this world maintains the same particular form from the beginning of that incarnation advent until the end. Only when he appeared as Sri Krishna did he reveal other forms. He showed his forearm form to Devaki and Vasudeva, and also to the gopis. Where? How did he show his forearm form to the gopis? He's doing after Ras Leela, when he was trying to hide, and he took the form of a Vishnu. And then the gopis approached him and asked, "Oh Narayan, have you seen Krishna?" And then they moved forward. But then when Radhika came in front of the forearm from Krishna, in two arms, they went inside. Krishna was unable to hide his form in front of Radhika. Where did this pastime take place? In Petagaon. The Gurudev said that Petagaon is one of the most important places for our Gaudiya Vaishnava. It establishes the supremacy of who? Srimati Radhika. So Krishna sometimes he manifested different forms. He manifested universal form to Arjuna and his form of Ram to Hanuman in Dwaraka. We heard this pastime. How he sent Garud, Gopal Hanuman here to Dwaraka. Why was the upcoming Mahabharata war going to take place? They need Hanuman's, Krishna was going to need Hanuman's help. So he said, Gopal Hanuman. So Garudi flew looking far away across the ocean and went looking for Hanuman. Where? He was somewhere in Bharatvat or King Purush was anywhere. So then he went there. That time Hanuman was laying. He was very old, acting like an old monkey. Garu said, "Oh, Krishna is waiting for you, Dwaraka for your audience. He wants to see you, talk to you." So, "Oh, I am very sick, I am very old, I cannot get up. So I will help you." And with his claws, with one claw he tried to lift the tail. He could not lift. And with both he tried. And with his beak and his claws he tried to pull it. And Hanuman with his tail, he flicked like that and Garu went flying so far away. Then he went flying back. So I tried to tell him to come, but he wouldn't come. I tried with all my strength to pull him, but I could not even budge him. Krishna said, "What did you tell him?" He said, "Oh, I said, Krishna is waiting for you in Dwaraka. Urgent message. He wants to talk to you." He said, "Why did you say that? You should have told him Ram is waiting for him in Dwaraka. Go back and tell him that Ram is waiting for him." Yes. Then Garuda flew back again and said, "Oh, Hanumanji, see Ramachandra, Ram, Sita, Lakshman, they're all waiting for you there in Dwaraka. They want to see you." "My Ram wants to see me." Immediately he jumped up. He became youthful, grabbed his club. And Garuda said, "Jump on my back, I'll take you." Hanuman said, "Yes, no, you leave, I'll be there very shortly. I just have to attend to something." And Garuda started flying full speed back. As he was flying back to Dwaraka, then he saw Hanuman coming in the opposite direction. He said, "Hey, where are you going?" "Dwaraka is this way." He said, "Yes, I know, I already visited there, I'm on my way back now." Then, when Garuda arrived there, then Krishna was there smiling. And before Hanuman had arrived, then he had told Rukmini, "You dress up like Sita. Satyabhama, you hide under the Singhasan." He just summoned up like Lakshman, like this. Balaram and Lakshman. And they made this Ram Darbar, this Ram royal assembly. Then he requested, "Oh, the upcoming war and the battlefield of Kurukshetra should help Krishna and the Pandavas." And really, Hanuman, how did he help? He became the flag. He entered onto the flag of the chariot, and he was protecting Arjuna during that battlefield. Sometimes any stray arrow would come, Hanuman would roar and the arrow would miss. Or any other danger would be there, then somehow Hanuman would be protecting. He would be influencing the battlefield through his presence there. But Arjuna, he was not even aware of these things. After the Mahabharata war, then Arjuna told Krishna, "Okay, get down from the chariot. Now our work is done." And he said, "No, you get down first." "But I don't understand why. Just do what I say." And Arjuna got down. As soon as Krishna got down, then that chariot had burst into flames. It was completely self-combustion, completely burnt acid. And he said, "What happened?" "Your chariot was being pierced and struck by so many arrows, so many blows. But it was only by the presence of Hanuman and my presence that this chariot actually was able to sustain itself." When Arjuna was fighting Karna, that time Arjuna shot one arrow at Karna's chariot. Karna's chariot went back 10-20 feet back. Then when Karna took his arrow and shot at Arjuna's chariot only moved back 2 inches. When he moved back 2 inches, then Krishna stood up and started clapping. He said, "Oh, bravo, very nice Karna. You are so powerful. Excellent shot." And Arjuna said, what is this? I with my arrow I sent him back 20 feet, he did not say anything. He only sent my chariot back 2 feet, now he is such a great warrior. He said, oh, what are you saying, Arjuna? Don't you know who I am? I am inside me the universal form, all the unlimited universes. Hanuman himself is more heavy than any mountain. We are supporting your chariot and we are, all this weight is here. We even move this chariot even 1 inch requires Herculean power and strength. It is not possible. For him to move it back 2 inches means he has done something truly great. So in this way, Hanuman, on Krishna's request, he was assisting, helping. So we can see here that he sometimes manifested, Krishna manifested his different forms. His 400 form to Devaki and Vasudeva, his universal form to Arjuna, his form as Sri Ram to Hanuman in Dwarka. This is possible for Sri Krishna because he is Swayam Bhagavan, the form of the Supreme Lord who has no source other than himself. But other avatars such as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Nrsimha and Sri Ram did not at any point manifest a form other than their own. Even Ramachandra, he has such sweet path and such amazing katha, everything. But he didn't manifest any other form of Lord, any incarnation of himself. Krishna manifested something. But Mahaprabhu, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, however, showed devotees the particular form of Bhagavan that they cherished. And he did this before everyone present. He showed his Nrsimha form to Shivas and to Nrsimhananda, and his Sri Ram form along with Sri Ram's associates to Murari Gupta. He manifested his Yagyavaraha form, Lord Boar, the form of sacrifice. I think that was also the Murari Gupta. His 4-armed form, his 6-armed form, his 8-armed form to some, and his form of Sri Krishna holding a flute to others. And he manifested his form as Nasraj Mahabhav to Sri Rayanananda. Along with the fact that he is directly Swayam Bhagavan, the attribute establishes his prominence among all his other incarnations. Some people they claim that in Chaitanya Mangal there is described that there is like a 16-armed form or something, a 21-armed form of Mahaprabhu, something like that. I remember one devotee then, there if you go to Orissa, it's Dangamanga. There they have established this deity in their temple there. So when Gurudev came to Bhubaneswar in 2001, that time one of the devotees he mentioned this there. All these 21 armed forms of Mahaprabhu, 18 armed forms, I don't forget how many. The Mahaprabhu, Gurudev, I've never heard this, I've never read this anywhere. But they have established, and on their website they say in Chaitanya Manga, but if you read Chaitanya Manga, there's no description of that there. So I don't know exactly where they have found, where it heard, but it is so many different Shastras and Puranas and things are there. But anything that is not following Chaitanya Bhagavat, not following Chaitanya Charitamrita, not following Srimad Bhagavatam, for us it is always taken with a grain of salt. It means if it is supportive of these scriptures, then we may accept the statement. But if they are not supported by Chaitanya Bhagavat, Chaitanya Charitamrita, then they really have to be scrutinized and considered. Then Guru, Sadhu, Shastra, these things come into play. If Guru says one thing and Sadhu say one thing, but Shastra says something else, then we reconcile by accepting the words of Guru and Sadhu. If Sadhu say one thing, but Guru and Shastra are saying something else, then we reconcile by accepting the majority again. That Guru and Shastra are saying, we accept their words. And if Guru says one thing, but Sadhu and Shastra are saying something else, and Guru is not present, for instance, Gurudev had said something previously, but then after the Gurudev's disappearance pastime, then you are unable to clarify with him directly. Then you approach sadhus and shastras for clarification. And whatever sadhu and shastra is saying, then that is to be accepted. But if you try to interpret Gurudev's words independently, then you will come to a wrong conclusion. So therefore, this shastra is understood through this way. And Mahaprabhu specifically said, Sri Chaitanya Srimad Bhagavatam Praman Amaram Prema Bhumartamahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu Matavidam Tatrajaro Napara. Anything that follows in the wake of Srimad Bhagavatam, that is accepted as Praman. Otherwise, we don't follow, don't accept. So, Mahaprabhu, he exhibited so many different incarnations, so many different forms of the Lord throughout his pastimes. Especially most of this was manifest well in Navadip, during his Navadip pastimes. In Puri, he manifested his Sadguru form, Sarvagam Bhattacharya one time, and some other forms. He actually, during Rath Yatra Prasanga, Mahaprabhu will manifest Radharani Sarup. They are doing Rath Yatra Prasanga. That time it's another Prabhu, he's standing very far distance. He's offering his pranam from a distance. He doesn't dare to go even nearby. Doing that Rath Yatra. And during the Rath Yatra, Mahaprabhu is also manifesting 7 forms simultaneously in all the different Sankirtan parties. And during their pastime of bathing into the Saravas, at that time, Nityananda Prabhu, Advaitacharya is taking the form of Shesh, laying, and then Mahaprabhu, like Vishnu, is laying on the Shesh. Sometimes in these different places, there's different pastimes these forms are manifest. Krishna is manifesting in something, but Mahaprabhu is completely showing all these specialities. 5. Sri Giridhari's compassion unfolds fully. In all of Bhagavan's other incarnations, he protected the saintly persons, who thus directly experienced his tender compassion. And by establishing true religion, the Lord benefited the sincere devotees of the Absolute Truth. Thus they too experienced his mercy. In those incarnations, Bhagavan annihilated the demons and granted them a spiritual destination, Gati. Thus he is known as Hatari Gati Dayaka. Hatari Gati Dayaka means upon killing the demon, they receive Sadgati, a transcendental destination. Where they go to? They take Brahma Sayuja. They go to Siddha Loka. Siddha Loka is a planet. It's the Brahma Jyoti. Basically, it is the Brahma Jyoti. They enter into the Brahma Jyoti. But it's also known as Siddha Loka. Place of perfection for those who, the Advaitavadis and the demons. So, Hatari Gati Dayaka. He who bestows a spiritual destination upon those demoniac person he kills. Shri Krishna not only gave liberation, mukti to the demons he slayed, but he even granted liberation to those who were killed by his associates, such as Arjuna and Bhima. The Lord's compassion for the demons is cause of wonder. He even gave the demoness Putana the status of his own nurse. Even it is described, Garuda, he grabs a snake on the bank of the Ganga. The snake is sleeping, but his tail is sticking outside of the hole. On the bank of the Ganga, the water is there, it's cool. The snakes, they don't like the heat. They like to be in the hole. So he was sleeping, his tail was sticking out, Garuda's eagle, and they are the eternal enemies of the snakes. Rivalry always going on. You know this pastime, the mother of Garuda and the snakes. Kayadu, I think. They had this competition. They were arguing. What is the color of the tail of the sun chariot, the sun god's horse? And then they made a wager, whoever wins, whoever loses will have to become the maidservant, the slave of the other. So what happened is, the snake goddess said, no, it's black. And the Garuda, the mother of the eagle, she said, no, it's golden. And really it is golden. But what happened then, all the baby snakes and everything, they went there and they covered the tail. And when they went to check, it looked like it was black. Then Garuda's mother, she became, her name was, together, with a K. Huh? Petrol, huh? So then she was made this servant. The Garuda seeing this, he was so unhappy. My mother is maid servant now, serving. So then he approached the mother of the snakes and requested, please release my mother from this slavery, from this agreement. Okay, only one condition. If you bring me nectar from the heavenly planets, then I will. So ultimately Garuda goes and he brings this nectar. He fights and he brings this nectar. As he's bringing his nectar in the pot, then he, on this earth, he goes, he rests on the Kaliya tree in Vrindavan, drops to the nectar, follow there, drop there in Allahabad, Prayag, in Ujjain, and one more place. 4 places. That is why every year Kumbh Mela takes place in these 4 places. Why they say the nectar drops there every year? The demigods, they come, to receive that nectar. Exchange. They give you any benediction to those who have this nectar. If you collect that nectar, then you can exchange it with demigods. When Parishit Shukadeva Goswami was speaking Srimad Bhagavatam, that time all the demigods, they came there. They came with a big golden pot of nectar, and they put it there in front of Shukadeva Goswami. They said, we are giving you this nectar. In exchange for what? The nectar of the Srimad Bhagavatam. Give us. Shukadeva Goswami said, no. This is not real nectar. Real nectar is there in the Harikatha. The nectarian passion you see, Radha and Krishna. The demigods, they returned empty-handed. So Garuda, he brought that nectar back. But then, I forget, he was on the request of someone. He said, don't give this nectar to the snakes. If they drink this nectar, then they become immortal. It will be a problem. Maybe it was Brahma, I forget. Anyhow. So then on one condition, he said, you return. They said, I have to return the nectar to free my mother. He said, okay, you give the nectar, but put it on a kusha grass, asana. They got a big kusha grass asana, and he put the nectar there. And he said, now your nectar is there. And then, now release my mother. So his mother was released. And then, when the snakes went to get that pot of nectar, actually what happened is, I think Indra, someone came and stole it. And some of the nectar dropped onto the asana. And the snakes, they tried to lick the nectar, but the kusha, because it's so sharp, it cut their tongue. That's why snakes, they have, the tip of their tongues are like this, forked. Cut by the kusha asana. So, this Garuda, so even Garuda, so whenever he sees snakes, then he feels there's some enmity there. But reality, there's no jealousy in Garuda's heart. He's thinking, I should liberate this snake. Why is he in such a tamasic, low-class birth? So he grabs the snake and eats, and he's pulling the snake from the bank of the Ganga and flying away with it. As he's flying away with it, because he's on the bank of the Ganga, the tail of the snake touches the Ganga. Just touching the Ganga, automatically the snake becomes liberated and disappears. The God is looking, where did the snake go? Then he sees on his back, 400 personalities sitting on his back. The snake immediately becomes liberated, and Garuda then has to fly to Vaikuntha to deliver that, to take that person, that Atma there. So even this liberation is distributed to Krishna's associates and even Bhagavan's other incarnation associates. He said that here, that he even gave the demoness Putana the status of his own nurse. But at what moment did the demons have any realization of the compassion Bhagavan Shri Krishna bestowed upon them? They didn't realize anything. It was just pure mercy. They are so demoniac, they had so many unfavorable moods in their heart, enmity towards the Lord, but they attained such a destination without any sadhana, without any realization. It was only after their death, upon attaining their place at his lotus feet, that they realized it. As long as they were alive, they had no experience of it all. Nor could any of their relatives, such as their sons or wives, realize that compassion or karuna, save Kaliya and his wives. Even the Kaliya's wife, they prayed, Tasya anubhava asana deva vidmahe. Tabangvire anusparsha adhikaraha. He said that this Tasya anubhava asana deva, we cannot fathom, realize what kind of piety has Kaliya there performed. Tabangvire anusparsha adhikaraha. Manchanti Sri Lalana Acharya Tapo Vihaya Kamo Sutiram Vidravata. That you attain the foot dust of Sri Krishna. That even Lakshmi herself is performing austerities for such a very long time and has not ever achieved it. But you very easily, Kaliya very easily attained it. What piety did he do in his previous life to achieve that? So, up until their very last breath, these demons and their families were convinced that Krishna had treated them only with cruelty. The only reason why Kaliya actually received this mercy is because of his wife. The Kaliya Patnis, they are actually devotional. They had this devotion in the heart, therefore Krishna gave mercy to Kaliya. For that reason. In some Puranas, there is some history described. Who was Kaliya? He said that there was one king, he had some rare disease in his stomach, he couldn't digest anything. Always problem. So that he asked his ministers and they called some special vaidyas, special doctors, and they said, oh, condition is very bad. But, okay, in desperate times, in desperate measures. And one of the large, one qualified doctor, he said there is one sadhu who is living on the bank of the Bandhav there. Next to, and his Nandini Hirat. He lives inside a tree hole. He does his bhajan there. You wash his feet, take his Chatnamrita, maybe by the mercy of a great sadhu like this, but the Chatnamrita of such a sadhu, you drink, then that will cure your disease. So the king went there and he came to the tree and he begged, oh Mahatmaji, oh Sadhuji, please give your mercy. I am the king of this land and I am trying to serve everyone, but I have this disease. I need one thing from you, only please give me your Chatnamrita. He begged and the sadhu said, okay. So he stuck his foot out. He stuck his foot out and he saw so many sores and boils and pus and blood there, and he's like, oh, I meant the other one. So he puts his foot in and he sticks his foot out. He sticks out his other foot. He sticks out his other foot, but that one is even more worse, like gangrene and like flesh and bones. And he's like, oh my God, now I'm in a pickle, what to do? So he washes the foot, takes his Chatnamrita, but instead of putting in his mouth, he just sprinkles on his head. When the sadhu, he sees that, he goes, hey, nonsense. You come here, make a big show of humility and surrender, this and that, and you waste my time asking for my Chatnamrita, you don't even drink it. So you are like a snake, duplicitous. I curse you, in your next life you will become a snake. Then he begged, he goes, no, I'm very ignorant, I'm this and that. Please be merciful. I did a mistake. Please don't curse me. He says, okay, whatever I said is true, but because you put this Chatnamrita on your head, the Supreme Lord himself, Krishna, will dance in their head. So that king then he took birth as Kaliya. And then, because he received Krishna's Chatnamrita, then his wives who automatically were great devotees. And he received that sadhu sangha by the mercy of that sadhu. And then he was ultimately, Krishna performed dance on his hoods, and ultimately Sanatana Goswami said, even Krishna then tamed Kaliya and then used him as a boat for Nauka Vihar with the Braj Devis. Even Krishna performed Ras Leela on the hoods of Kaliya. Described. So here, it is said that up until their very last breath, these demons and their families were convinced that Krishna had treated them only with cruelty. For these reasons, in all of Bhagavan's other incarnations, the unfolding of his sweetness, of his karuna, was incomplete. So there was some exhibit, some show of karuna, but it was not complete. On the other hand, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu never carried any type of weapon, nor did he ever take anyone's life. Rather, he purified the consciousness of all beings by giving them the holy name of the Lord. Sri Gaura did not annihilate the demons themselves, rather he destroyed their demoniac disposition. This unique speciality is seen exclusively in this avatar. So Mahaprabhu didn't come, he asked us, said that Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishna Sang Asta Parsadam Yagya Sankirtana Prayajanti Sumerasa. That he comes with his Anga Upanga Shasta Parshad. And his Astra is what? It is Harinam. He doesn't use his Sudarshan Chakra. Mahaprabhu does pull it out. During Jagai Madalila, he pulls out his Sudarshan Chakra. But Nitai begs him, don't kill him. We have, in other incarnations, we have done all these things. In this incarnation, we have taken the promise, a vow, not to annihilate the demons, but to destroy their demoniac disposition. So that time, even when the Muslims were beating Haridas Thakur in 21 marketplace, he said the Sudarshan Chakra was hovering in the sky, waiting. Oh my Lord, just give me the order and I'll cut these nonsense Muslims into pieces right now. But Mahaprabhu never gave the order. Why? Because Haridas Thakur himself was praying to Sudarshan Chakra. Please forgive these ignorant Muslims. Don't harm them. He could see, Haridas Thakur could see the Chakra was in the sky. Please don't harm. Don't do anything. And then because of the prayer of Haridas Thakur, the Chakra never activated. For example, Jagaya Madhai, Chand Kaji, the blasphemous students in Navadvip, and the impersonalist Prakashananda Saraswati of Kashi, and his disciples were all inimical to Shri Vishnu and the Vaishnavas, and thus were severe offenders. Yet by the tender compassion of Sriman Mahaprabhu, they all became Mahabhagavas. along with their respective wives, sons and disciples, in this very lifetime, in their very lifetime, they realized and relished the sweetness of his unprecedented compassion. Thus they were blessed and their lives became successful. How many disciples did Prakashananda Saraswati have? He has 60,000 Mayavadi disciples. Mahaprabhu distributed more, made them all into Vaishnavas. Not only that, then when he liberated Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya actually is Vrihaspati himself. Who is Uddhav? Krishna Leela. No, not Uddhav. He is Uddhav, Guru Bhakti. Vrihaspati. So he came as Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya in Mahaprabhu's Leela. So actually, and he took on this role of being impersonal, but actually he was a devotee. He thought that, oh, if I'm really Mahaprabhu's eternal servant, then Mahaprabhu will come and find me. So he took on this role. He went to Mithila and he learned the art of Navin Nyaya, new kind of logic. And he opened a school there in Vidyanagar in Navadvip. And he was teaching this Navin Nyaya there. New type of logic. It was so advanced that anyone who would go to his school, then they would defeat everybody. So many students were coming to learn from him. But then ultimately he thought, I will not do my scholastic pastimes here. And Mahaprabhu comes. Mahaprabhu will do his scholastic pastimes. I don't want to interfere. And then he thought, if I am a Mahaprabhu's eternal servant, then Mahaprabhu will come looking for me. Then he went there to Puri. And there, even he thought he was a householder, he was so advanced that even the sannyasis there, the Shanta Sampradaya, he would promote them. According to your name, you are in a different gradation of sannyas. You will get elevated to different levels. So he was so qualified, he would do that. And finally, when Mahaprabhu came there, he delivered him. Then, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's own disciple, Madhusudan Vachaspati, Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya sent him there to Varanasi. And he stayed there, even for the future generations, because there are so many impersonalists and Mayavadis. Shivoham, they worship Kashi Vishwanath. So he would teach them Vedanta on the basis, externally he would show as an impersonalist, but he would teach them Bhakti Vedanta. So, that is the mercy of Mahaprabhu's compassion. Even the offenders, they may turn everyone into Vaishnavas. Even the Mayavadis being personalists. So today we'll finish here, and tomorrow we'll continue with the sixth distinction of Mahaprabhu's compassion. Gaur Premananda Hari Hari Hariva Jai Shri Guru Pada Padma Ki Jai Guru Parampara Ki Jai Sachinandam Gaur Hari Ki Jai Saparshada Gaur Hari Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Harinam Sankirtan Ki Jai Ananta Gadi Vaishnavinda Ki Jai Nidai Gaur Premananda